Hello, hello, good afternoon. Happy Friday. Happy Memorial Day weekend to everybody. For those of you who have never caught me live before, my name is Jewel, and I am a grateful recovering addict of 9 years. I will celebrate 9 years in August, I should say. Today I'm going to go live with my brother-in-law Joe. I'm not going to let Russell out. He's depressed. And all he does is distract me. You know, hey,
What's up?
Russell's trying to come out already.
We're not gonna handle we're not gonna handle sidebars today, are we? With the
That's what
kids
I
and
said.
Matthew and
That's
Russell and
literally what
Kat.
I was saying, that I'm not going to let Russell out because he's trying to come out already. You know, I don't get the luxury of getting in the car and going to the gym
Yeah.
and sitting in the parking lot and doing it by myself. So,
Well, you could. Nobody stops you.
your brother stops me. So, we're not even going to go there. Okay. So, did you share it out?
That's what I'm
Okay.
doing right now.
I texted your wife and told her we were getting on. Okay.
All right,
All
Eric.
right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started just for today. Risking vulnerability. May 24th, as we grow, we learn to overcome the tendency to run and hide from ourselves and our feelings. Basic text, page 85. Rather than risk vulnerability, many of us have developed habits that keep others at a safe distance. These patterns of emotional isolation can give us the feeling we are hopelessly locked behind our masks. We used to take risks with our lives, now we can take risks with our feelings. Through sharing with other addicts, we learn that we're not unique. We do not make ourselves unduly vulnerable simply by letting others know who we are, for who we are in good company, for we are in good company. And by working the 12 steps of the NA program, we grow and change. We no longer want or need to hide our emerging selves. We are offered the opportunity to shed the emotional camouflage we developed to survive our active addiction. By opening ourselves to others, we risk becoming vulnerable, but the risk is well worth the rewards. With the help of our sponsor and other recovering addicts, we learn to express our feelings honestly and openly. In turn, we become nourished and encouraged by the unconditional love of our companions. As we practice spiritual principles, we find strength and freedom both in ourselves and in those around us. We are set free to be ourselves and to enjoy the company of our fellow addicts. Just for today, I will openly and honestly share with another recovering addict. I will risk becoming vulnerable and celebrate myself and my friendship with other NA members. I will grow. I can't see anything. You guys are commenting. I can't see. I'll have to respond afterwards. It's bright out here.
I got it. I'll
Okay.
keep up with it.
Good. You want to start?
Yeah, read the punchline.
Just for today, I will openly and honestly share with another recovering addict. I will risk becoming vulnerable and celebrate myself and my friendship with other NA members. I will grow.
Okay. So two things with that. First of all, you know, when you allow yourself to be open with how you feel or what's going on with you and what you're doing, and it kind of like brings it to the forefront. So if you're holding something in because you don't want to share it because of you're afraid of the reaction you're going to get, um then you're holding something in that might jeopardize what you're trying to do or might get in the way of your recovery program or whatever. So it's always good, when you feel something, give yourself a few minutes to rationalize it, and Nashira, please stop texting me because it freezes the video. So it gives you a chance to I don't know. I was saying, you know, pause and give yourself a minute to think about what you're feeling, and then decide like, okay, is this real? Can I work through this myself? If it still bothers you, you know, a little bit later on, or you can't figure out why you feel that way or what's going on with you, reach out to somebody. Go talk to somebody or message somebody or get on Facebook and do a live video and talk about it with people. I would say do a, because when you get on Facebook and you do a live, you get so much more interaction, and you open yourself up to not just one opinion, but the opinions of the masses, and you can kind of look and see, like, all right, what's the majority saying?
Yeah.
So then the second part, which is something that's kind of getting on my fucking nerves lately. So I'm gonna talk about how I feel. I talked about this the other day, man. I really did. I talked about this the other day. It costs you nothing to say nothing nice. Yeah. And if you see something that you don't like, or if you see something that you're questioning or you're skeptic, just don't say nothing, man. If you don't have any useful criticism, like if your criticism isn't coming from a place that's on topic or on point, just stay the fuck out of it. I seen a post the other day. I seen actually an array of posts. I think it was last night. I'm not sure. My days kind of blur together. But it was on the Clean and Sober group, and the Clean and Sober group is like the main group I see the most shit from, because it's probably the biggest group that I'm a part of. And I seen this guy talking about, I guess he was trying to get his cousin clean or something, and his cousin was on the Suboxone program, and he wasn't taking more than he was supposed to, but he was shooting them and all this other crazy shit, right? So he's on there like trying to get advice for his cousin, and it's people on there talking about he's lying and he's trying to get people to relapse, and he's on here trying to trigger people, and he has two different profiles and he's the same person, and all this crazy bullshit, like this big conspiracy theory about this guy that's on this page, you know, reaching out for help, asking people like, please explain to this guy, you know, if you see him in the page or whatever the fuck, you know, I'm trying to help this guy. What should I do? And instead of it being about how to help this guy, it became a big argument about shooting Suboxone. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is this shit? Why the fuck are we talking about it? Why are we arguing about how to do it and how it breaks down and all this dumbass crazy shit? Why are we even talking about it? That's why I don't like this shit to begin with. That's why I don't like the program to begin with. Because then it opens up this big door of all this bullshit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if it was me, I'd have just been like, I didn't say shit because I didn't want to be in the middle of all that dumbass shit. So
constantly everybody starts on you, and it just it's not productive. It's not productive. Yeah.
So I'm sitting there reading the bullshit, and I'm thinking to myself, like, what's the first thing you should do? All right, what's your location? Where are you from? I'm gonna try to find a recovery house or a rehab where you live. Talk to your cousin, see if you can get him into rehab. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go through the steps of how we truly are here to help other people instead of arguing about dumb shit that don't even fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I did see a couple people on there just be like, you know, he's not gonna get clean till he's ready, so there's really no point in reaching out. Or, yeah, I agree with that. That's called constructive criticism. But when you're on there like playing true detective, trying to figure out, is this the real person? Is he a real addict? Is he just on here trying to make everybody relapse? First of all, if somebody getting on a page and saying something is going to make you relapse in your head, then you're already on the wrong track. That's number one. Because I ride down the street when I go to the gym or when I go to the store to get my drinks, and I see addicts and homeless people and people acting crazy on the street every fucking day. I see needles on the ground. I drive past a liquor store and there's beer in every store I go to. It doesn't make me relapse. It doesn't
Right.
trigger me. So it's actually it's actually flipping the mirror, because if your recovery and your foundation is so weak that this guy saying these things on this page is bothering you so much, when you have the power to just close out your Facebook
Right.
app and go do something else, but you keep feeding it, then you need to take a look at yourself. You need to look at your own recovery and your own foundation. You understand? Not his. It's evident in what the guy was saying, that he's not on the right track. So
We don't need to sit up and debate
why are we
about it
gonna kick
after
him?
it's already been a known fact. Yeah. Well, and they, we've
So
talked so many times before about you have to look for what you need in the groups. You know what I mean? Like, the other day somebody made a post about something to do with Suboxone or methadone, and it was a T-shirt or something, and it was supposed to be a funny image, I guess, and everybody's all pissed off and up in an uproar about it, rightfully so, because most of them are on a maintenance program of some sort. And this one girl kept going on about, why is this allowed in this group? And that's all she was focused on. And I commented to her and I was like, you have to remember that there's 55,000 people in this group, number one. I don't know how many admins there are, but there's still 55,000 people in that group. They're not going to be able to stop every post that's made. I think they do a pretty good job when somebody is disrespectful or ignorant or it gets out of line, or sometimes they have those fake accounts that come in and post things, and so they do a pretty good job. But it's like, first off, you can block them. You can block that person and then you don't ever see their post anymore. It's literally that simple. I feel like a lot of times we get so hung up in the drama in what's going on that everybody misses the point. You know what I mean? Just like with yours, with the guy that needed help. Good criticism is what they needed, or, good suggestions, not this whole, debate over the program or debate on how the drug works or how he's taking it or whatever, because it's already a known fact that he's not doing it correctly. So the point gets missed.
yeah, and it's just like it's directly on topic, because we talk about being
Right.
open and sharing, and how we can grow as a community. We can grow in our recovery because we're open and honest and sharing. But then you got a guy who's being open and honest with his sharing, thinking that this is the place that he can dump this shit. Everybody's fucking running him in a circle and attacking him, when he's saying, I got a year clean. I'm just trying to help
Right.
my friend. But
Well,
they're sitting there, playing fucking detective, trying to figure out if it's real.
the other thing, sorry, the wind. Russell said, wow, the wind's really blowing earlier. The other thing too is, when all that drama starts on the post like that, other people that might have good things to say, like you, don't comment. Because if you do comment, one, there's a good chance that the other people that are already debating on the post are going to come after you. And two, if it's not even going to be looked at or taken seriously, what's the point? So I feel like when those kinds of situations come up, we lose good feedback, or we lose the potential for good feedback or good conversation, because all these people want to be negative about it and miss the whole point.
Yeah, like I said, man, if that shit don't apply to you and it makes you uncomfortable, you have the power to just close out your
Yeah.
Facebook. You don't have to feed into it at all. If I see a post that looks bullshit, or it doesn't look like a good post, I don't entertain. It's that simple.
Yeah. So I want to go back to the just for today again. I was looking last night when I had texted you. There was I did a live video on the Just for Today last year, and I was trying to find a place where I could see better. Anyways, I guess this time last year I had a really rough week. I don't really remember what happened, but in my live video I talked about being vulnerable to Jamie, to being able to just literally like spill my whole week on her and every little thing that was going on and every little thing that was bothering me. And also, it reminded me, I feel like I think I was kind of like reflecting too on when your mom was in the house because she was able to be vulnerable for once. And I feel like in her being able to be vulnerable and be completely 100% herself and tell all her secrets and not have to worry what other people were going to feel or say or do about it, um, made the difference in her recovery. I mean, obviously, I haven't experienced all the years that you have with her or Josh has, but in that time that I did have with her, I feel like that was the big difference for her. So go get your pants.
All I'm saying is just be a little more self-aware. That's all. When you get into recovery, the number one thing that impacts your recovery is the awareness of yourself. Are you being self-aware? Self-aware in the way you carry yourself, in the way you talk, in the way you think, in the way you speak, in the things you say to other people.
Yeah.
You understand? If you don't got nothing nice to say to nobody, or your criticism isn't constructive and you don't have a plan to what you're saying, that's, where you're being critical, just don't say nothing.
When I post or when I respond to comments in the groups, I'm very like I will literally reread what I've wrote about 6 times because one, I want to make sure I'm not saying something that is going to take that someone else would take offense, or I guess I'm a people pleaser because I don't really want to hurt people's feelings either. So those are kind of things I just go over, to be self-aware of what I'm posting. Hold on. Here. Here.
The what?
Here.
The what?
Well, it's your fault, not mine. I'll be glad when we can get back to going live in the morning. That seems to be about it.
I mean, we usually can, but when I hit you up at like 8 or 9, you always got something to do.
Well, that's about
So.
to end soon because school's almost out. So.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get with some of these comments since you can't.
Well, that's what I was just getting to say. Dre says, I'm having trouble cleaning up today. I woke up at 3 a.m. Whatever have you gone through days like that, and how did you make it happen? Go ahead, Joe. I don't ever wake up that early. My sleeping is like one thing I can't complain about. Like, if anything, I sleep too much, I guess.
All right, I'm back. Well, we talked about the last time we went live, we talked about having the ability to turn your day around.
Yeah, that's a good one. And if you need
her comment disappeared on my end.
It says, I'm having trouble cleaning up today. I woke up at 3 a.m. Whatever have you gone through days like that, and how did you make it happen? I don't know if they mean cleaning up as in there's like, being clean, or as in cleaning up the house.
Yeah, elaborate a little bit if you're still watching.
Jamie said next month.
Joe said, I'm going to read Brandy Joe's comment because it was before that. I said I got the comments, right?
Go ahead then. I'll just stop.
Brandy Joe says, that's me. I hold stuff back because I feel like a burden, or I feel like people don't understand. Another is everyone tends to find out what's wrong because of gossip. Well, depending on who you told, if you told somebody and they told somebody else, stop telling that person and find somebody else. Or inbox one of us, because I don't talk to nobody about nobody's shit. So, but you shouldn't hold anything in because, like I said earlier in the video, it can be a small problem and it can turn into a bigger problem just because you're hanging on to it. It's baggage that you don't need. Okay, Jamie says, next month I'll be 4 years sober. I wanted a beer today. Maybe I can just have one. No, you can't. I hate it too. Alcohol is my thing too. So I feel you. Like I said, like I said earlier about, if a post is a trigger for you, then your recovery's pretty weak because I ride by liquor stores every single day and it doesn't make me want to drink. I don't know where you're at, but it could be maybe the weather's getting nice and it's just like I said too, I talk in my videos about um when we get long-term recovery, like when we've been sober or clean for a long time, uh our darkness from our past is so far removed that it doesn't seem that
Mhm.
bad, right? So we kind of forget the horrors and how bad it really was, and we try to convince ourselves that almost like we can just hit the reset button because we've been sober so long. So we think, all right, I can start over and I can become a
Right.
social drinker, and it's just a trap that you're going to fall into. And I even stated that because I've done it before. I've even stated where you might have a good time that first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, even maybe the fifth time. You might get on a roll. You might do good for a little while, but eventually, because of who you are and the way you are, you're setting yourself up to where you're gonna have a fucked up night, and it's gonna end in the same way it always ended for you before. You're gonna catch new charges. You're gonna alienate yourself from your loved ones, and it's gonna be this. Then you're starting the same process all over again.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You don't. I will have 9 years clean in August, and nothing makes me want to restart that time. Nothing. Uh, don't set yourself up for a relapse because I don't know if alcohol was your thing or if drugs were your thing. Well, you said you were sober, so I'm assuming alcohol is your thing. So don't. I mean, it's like playing Russian roulette. Isn't that the expression?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like.
So don't do that.
One of those times is gonna end badly. I drank. I had 9 months sober one time, and I drank. I started drinking again, and I went on a pretty good run. I drank for a while, and number one, the biggest thing I want to tell you, it's not fun anymore. I mean, that's my experience. It's not the same. It's not fun
It's not going to
anymore.
be the
It's
same it was in the
I
very
don't know who
beginning.
you are or the type of drinker you are, but um, my friends don't really want to get fucked up with me no more. They've been stopped wanting to drink with me. And drinking by yourself usually results in you're blacked out in 2 hours probably. I mean, like I said, I don't know how you drink or what type of person you are, but that was me. Within 2 hours, I'm out of here. And I wake up the next day and I'm like, well, damn, I didn't even, what the fuck did I even do? I went through all that shit and put myself through all that bullshit just to have a good 30,
Right.
45 minutes. Like, what the fuck's the point? What's the point? There's no point in it. It's just a waste of your time.
And I hadn't thought.
Deborah said,
Sorry,
go ahead.
you made the
No, go
comment
ahead.
about the weather being nice. And like I said, alcohol was never really my big thing. So to me, it doesn't necessarily bother me that the weather's beautiful and it's Memorial Day weekend, and um, it doesn't give me the urge to drink. But I do imagine that could be a trigger for a lot of people that are sober or that have dealt with alcoholism. We're going to the,
Yeah, I mean, it's
we're
any
going to the,
function, any type of social event.
yeah, we're going to the tea party tomorrow, and that's always a big. Everybody usually has a cup out there, but it doesn't bother me. It's never bothered me.
I think, Jamie, you just need to remind yourself, you need to take a moment and sit down with yourself and write down some of the things that happened to you when you were inactive, when you were drinking, when you were being active in your alcoholism. Write a list down of all the shit that happened to you. That's your future if you
Yeah.
pick up. It's a fact. And why do you want to go backwards? Why do you want to have to do it all over again? There's no point to it. You're not going to get anything
If
out
the
of it.
weather or things, if you're being triggered, then you need to you need to identify what those triggers are. What was it?
And Deborah says people got to understand not everyone has good taste. Even though they might have a lot of clean time, people still have issues,
Yeah.
mental health, loose morals, and issues. And you just need to choose who you
Yeah.
interact with. Exactly. Exactly. You don't have to respond to every fucking thing you see. You don't have to react all the time. If you reacted to every little thing that rubbed you wrong or offended you or you thought wasn't right, you'd have a busy life.
Yeah.
You'd be tired. You'd be reacting 24/7, especially with social media because it's in
Right.
your face every day. Put the phone down for a little while. If it's getting in the way, like what I talked about earlier in the video, where you got to have some big fucking debate on the internet and, you know, put somebody down and question them and all that shit. If it's getting to that point for you, you need to turn your damn phone off and chill
Take a
out for
break.
a little bit. Yeah, real shit, because you don't need to react to everything. Because what if, let's say, we can think about on the one side of it, but what if that guy's being genuine and you're completely wrong in everything you're saying, and he gets so emotional and upset that he goes out and uses because you
Right.
were triggered? Come on, man. Fuck out of here with that shit. It's not necessary. I get tired of seeing it on these posts. Like, everybody's so like self-absorbed where like they only like shit, or they only want shit being put in their face that they think is right or that they like for their recovery. Like, that's not the real world. Like she said, there's 55,000 people
Yeah.
in that
It's a
group.
lot.
I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. I barely watch anybody's live videos. I barely interact with anybody's posts. I barely do anything on that page with anybody. I might make a comment every once in a while when I feel like, somebody really needs some
Right.
good words. And my comments are always generic, direct, and right to the point, and they always come from a good place of I'm trying to help that person with what they're going through, how they described it in the post. That's it. That's all. No extra shit. I'm not gonna get on there and try to figure out if the guy's real or not.
I'm not
You know what I
investigating.
mean? Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna question. Right. I'm not gonna question his motives. It's not my job to question.
We
his
should make that a
motives.
rule.
The
If
community.
you have to investigate the person that you're going to talk to or comment to, don't comment. If you feel the need to investigate, whether you look up their profile or you inbox somebody else, or you feel like you need to ask them 101 questions, just don't comment. Just move it on. Just move on to the next post.
I just don't see the need. It's like people just got confused on what community means. It means togetherness. We're all working together for a
Right.
common goal.
Um,
And it's not even like the thing you say most of the time, is how you say it. Like, you could have just simply said, like, to the guy,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? You could have just easily said, like, I think you shouldn't be so descriptive because it could cause a lot of harm on this group, and there could be a lot of people on the fence. Like, you didn't even come from a good place with what you were saying. And at the bottom line of it, if you have something that's questionable, you don't need to air him out for the audience. All you need to do is inbox him personally and say, hey, man, I think you should probably chill out and, be careful about what you're saying because it could upset a lot of people. And I know you're trying to get your friend help. How about you contact a local rehab or go tell your friend? And if your friend doesn't want to get help, they're never going to get help. End the fucking story. It's all over. You don't got to keep going back and forth with this dude on the internet for everybody to see, for you to get fans to jump in your wagon and keep on bashing on him.
right.
It's stupid. And then you wonder why when you see people say, I'm leaving this group. That's why. Be positive. You don't have to say anything negative at all. If it bothers you, just look away. Look the other way. That's all you got to do. Or contact the admin and just say, hey, this is kind of edgy to me. What do you think?
Um,
but people are so quick to just type and post without
Yeah.
even thinking.
Laura, I wanted to ask, you said, I need your help. I don't know if you needed something specific or if you were just referring to the video. Keep moving.
And you know, it's like
Go ahead.
I don't like on these videos. I don't like going on like tirades or
Tangent.
I don't like. Yeah, I don't like my tone of voice changing or nothing like that. But it just I talked about it before. I feel like I've said this 1,000 times and shared it in this group where it's like, but y'all ignore the shit though. You know what I'm saying? It's funny that y'all are so quick to react to something you see that you don't like, but you ignore when somebody's trying to give you a good message and tell you, like, hey, you know, slow down a little bit. Take some time to think. You ignore it. And it makes me think in my head, like, if you're just the type of person that doesn't interact with the live videos and you're not trying to get a message and you're just one of them comment warriors where all you do is, you know, comment on everybody's posts about how you think it should be and what's right in your eyes, then you're missing the point. And you're not opening yourself up to any type of message or any type of recovery. You know what I'm saying? Be active. Because what I saw in my eyes, I saw a guy trying to help his cousin, and I saw a bunch of bullshit after that. That's
He
what I
put
saw.
himself and his cousin in a vulnerable state, doing exactly what you're supposed to do, and then attacked and ridiculed and all this extra.
You know what I used to say? That's not just something I used to say. It's something everybody says. The truth will eventually reveal itself.
Yeah.
If he's on some bullshit, he's not getting nowhere in his recovery anyway. If he's on some dumb shit, he's going to weed himself out eventually anyway. He's going to disappear because he's not going to last, and he's not going to be a part of a recovery group anymore because he's going to be off busy doing his shit. How many of y'all, when y'all were really out there getting it, how many of y'all were worried about a fucking recovery group? I know I wasn't. I didn't even know they had this shit on Facebook. I was just about to say,
I didn't even know they had it. I mean, and I didn't know until October when we started doing these videos.
So just let the ones that aren't here for the right shit, let them weed themselves out. You don't gotta attack nobody.
And a lot of them people that have nothing negative to say, like everything that's in the comments and everything that gets said about certain people that's looking for help and reaching out for help instead of just isolating themselves. Everybody's got something negative to say. You're still fucked up. You might be sober. I mean, you might be clean. You might not be doing some drugs, but if you steady spreading negativity around everywhere, you still fucked up. You still got some work to do within yourself because you're a sad motherfucker, period. If you're not trying to be positive and trying to help people, then you still got some work to do. So maybe you should stop spending so much time on Facebook and start spending some time looking in the fucking mirror and dealing with your shit. Because just going to a meeting every week doesn't classify you as being a good human being, or not shooting up or snorting lines or fucking smoking pot or drinking. It doesn't mean you're a good person yet just because you cleaned your act up. When you clean your act up, you got to clean your whole fucking lifestyle up. Not just the drugs and not just, you know, stop hanging out with certain people. Man, you got to clean yourself up. You got to get within yourself and figure out, are you a toxic person or are you a good person that wants to help these people? Because if you don't want to help anybody, then just leave everybody the fuck alone and just stay to yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's just stupid. Everybody always got something negative to say, whether it be drugs, politics, religion. Everybody always got something to say. But they need to just worry about how they feel about the situation and keep to the fucking selves, unless you're trying to spread positivity. That's it. You know what I mean? Get over that shit.
Clearly, today.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
So.
Fucking haters, man. Hating on people doing good things with themselves.
So.
Yep.
Well, I feel like that wraps it up. I don't feel like we can really say anything else after that. So there are shameless plugs out and call it a day. So in the description of the video, in the description of the video.
Don't worry, guys. That's all he
Yeah,
said.
that was it. It was just a one time. He literally just got home. So, in the description of this video, I've put all of our pages, the Breaking the Chains community group we have. And remember, Joe said at the beginning of this video, if you want to be vulnerable and you need to get something out and you need to, one of the things he suggested was going live in one of the groups. Feel free to do that in our group and we can comment and give you our feedback as well as the other members in the group. I also commented our March into Recovery page, which is our event page, as well as the Midshore Restoring Hope in Women, which is the local nonprofit we help. I have the link to our YouTube channel. I'll have to post that when we're finished, though. Yeah, he usually is, Patty. I was surprised. We would love it if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's called Breaking the Chains. And the last thing is we are selling t-shirts that say Breaking the Chains on the front. On the back, they say in loving memory of Wendy Hewitt, which is Joe's mom. You can opt to change the name to your loved one or your friend. And all the sales from the t-shirts are going to the nonprofit we're working with this year. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to comment or inbox us. And I think that's it.
All right, some closing statements.
Yeah.
So remember what I said. Be self-aware. Think before you post. Think before you comment. And most importantly, if what you see in the groups turn you off or scare you, don't be scared of me. Don't be scared of Jewel. Feel free to inbox us. I will not judge you. I will not try to hurt your feelings. I will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, but I will try to help you the best I can. There's no cure. I'm not going to say I'm going to cure you, but I'm also not going to put your shit out there for you to be thrown to the wolves and not knowing what you're going to get. So if you have some issues that you want help with, or you need advice, or you just want to air them out, feel free to inbox me. I will respond. I always do. And stay focused in your recovery, because there's going to be bullshit everywhere. There's going to be people on the corner trying to drag you down. There's going to be beer at the store. There's going to be fiends on the corner. There's going to be fiends down the street. There's going to be drug dealers around the block. All that shit's, you can't run away. So make sure you got a hard foundation, and make sure that you got some good people around you that are lifting you up, that are not trying to drag you down, that are not making you more vulnerable than you already are. So that's how I feel.
Do we have a plan of when you want to go next?
Well, tomorrow, I guess. Sunday's my off day, so I'm not doing anything. Sunday, I'm not.
I could go tomorrow night. We're going to the tea party in the morning. So.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. Let's go for Monday.
Memorial Day. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. We'll see you Monday. Enjoy the weekend. Stay clean, stay sober, even if it's just for today.
Yep. Thank you.